welcome to the worm. You know what the temperature is today? What the high is? 68 degrees. I'm kind of working on some stuff in the cabin there, waiting for it to dry. So I don't know, I'd kind of rather be outside right now. I got in my head that I want to rebuild the lean-to. Can't really do that until I sort out the man cave, which I haven't done anything with since I kind of moved out of there and into the cabin. One of the things I got to get out of the man cave are the extra propane bottles for the cabin. Those two, I've got 2 extra 40-pound propane cans. I was just kind of running those around to fill them when one of these ran out. This whole setup was kind of temporary. As soon as I got the cabin sort of finished, ran the propane lines through 2 cans out here. They're just on like a temporary step. And that step is just screwed into the form for the footing, which I would have taken off a long time ago when I knocked all the rest of the forms off. I think I'm going to build some kind of new step like this. Maybe it'll be a little wider. I guess we'll keep it at the same height just because our switcher over is right there already. In the very coldest parts of the winter, one of these 40-pound cans lasts like a week or something. It might even have been less than that before I put that bubble foil insulation in the floor. I can't remember, but I have to come out here more than once a week just to check and see if that thing's flipped over. If one of the cans is empty, I'd switch it out with an extra one, take the empty one down, throw it in my car whenever I went to town. I'd get it refilled. So it'd be really sweet to have all 4 of them hooked up here. So it'd be 4 times 40 pounds. It'd be like 600 pounds of propane. And then you open all 4 cans, but when 2 of them run out together, then it switches over to the other 2. And I just made this canvas twist lock on cover just to keep the snow off last winter. And I want to build some kind of a, I don't know, like a roof thing over this. But I think it would be both unfun and unchallenging just to make like a little rectangular roof at yay pitch. It would work fine. It would do exactly what I need it to do, but I don't think I would have that much fun doing it. Tito was out and he was trying to help me think of a really complicated way to build this. We're thinking maybe it comes out at one pitch, comes down at another pitch, and then maybe we have like a sloped side on it or something. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's see what we can do. So let's go dig through the lumber pile. I guess we'll figure out how to make this foot first. I think the best way to do this, and Tito's suggestion was to put some anchors into the concrete. I don't have any of those. I do have a hammer drill. I wonder if I could use bolts and dump some epoxy in there or something to hold them in. I guess the other option, well, let me pull this off. The other option that comes to mind, I could cut a flat edge on this foot with the chainsaw, and then however we build this whole thing, we could screw it right to this. On the one hand, it might be easiest to use the chainsaw and trim that flat. On the other hand, it'd be kind of fun to use the hammer drill. Okay, dug through my stash of garbage. This is what I came up with. I bought this thing last winter, maybe the winter before, just to use this bit for breaking up ice around here. There's many times of the winter where the lean-to door won't open because the ground freezes, the ground like raises up. They call that heaving, I'm told. So every few weeks I have to chisel the frozen ice dirt out just so I can open that door. Also, I get these big ice dams on the end of the cabin and the man cave because I don't know how to build. So everything melts, slides down when it gets over the eaves, it all refreezes, and I get like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of ice. Had to have something to bust it up. But I haven't used the hammer drill for hammer drilling, so I'm thinking we drill the hole. Oh, it probably can only be a couple inches. Epoxy this down in there, cut this off, and then we can thread a nut and bolt on top of it. There's a possibility it'll work. Don't know. I think we should try it. And of course I don't have the right epoxy just for this, but I found this JB Weld steel reinforced epoxy. Listen, you're never supposed to learn anything from ringworm videos, and you're never supposed to try anything that I try here. I mean, a lot of times I use products in a way they're not intended to be used, and a year later I'm ripping them back out and redoing it the right way, but a lot of times it just works out. Wow, that's a crap bit right there, but it drills pretty fast. Just not straight. Next size bit. Pretty good, pretty good. Stuff is really old too. Let's see if it's still a liquid. Might as well use it all. Oh yeah, look at that. What's your bet? You think this will work? I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. If it failed somehow, I can't really think of how it would fail. As long as it seals the hole all the way. What do you think? Good? Good enough? That's about a foot. So let's make it 1 foot wide, 4 feet long, sort of like this. Probably use this wood for something. What do we do, like 5 feet wide if the tanks are 4, maybe 6 feet wide? So the roof on here is, I believe, 512. That means for every 12 inches you go over, you go up 5. So maybe let's do like 312 and then go to 6 or 712. And if it's sticking out 2 feet isn't enough, then we'll put another pitch on the end of it or something strange. So these look like really nice 1-inch cedar boards, that as well. This is the pretty cedar, as well as that one. This looks like cedar, almost 2x4, the rotten end, but it'd be good enough for something. Scrap of pine that didn't quite make a 2x4. Probably use that. Look at this thing. That's got to be 16 inches across there, 1.5 inch thick. That's white pine, which is enough to do this entire project. Probably doesn't need to be 2x4s, does it? I feel like a 2x2 would be enough. Or 2x3, is there such thing? We could make it such a thing. There's a piece of normal 2x4. I wonder where that came from. We don't allow this kind of crap at Ringworm. See, now that's homemade 2x4 right there. That's what we need. I think I'm going to cut this back just the teensy. Not so much the cabin will fall, but just the teensy. How close do you dare go? That's the question. That's going to be a problem right there. I don't know if this will take it off or not, but let's try. It's so quiet and beautiful out right now before it gets warmer. I'm going to carve a few names in the table here. Of course, the video always takes a while to come out, so if you don't see your name yet, just be patient. This will be the first carving since I redid the table, so I don't know how exactly it's going to work. I'm going to have to carve them and then just varnish over the names somehow. I gotta admit, I don't really like carving through the varnish. It's so purty. Katie, June, and Randy. I think I was supposed to carve you last time. You don't mind, you're getting carved now. KJ. I don't know if we need the pencil lead, but we'll make it look like the rest of them, I guess. Does anybody know what varnish I used on this table? Is it this clear semi-gloss? Let's go with this. How do we do this? Just tape off a square? Word on the streets is you're not supposed to put very heavy coats of varnish on, but I'm not going to listen to that. I mean, we already got like 4 or 5 coats on the table, so we just need a lot in the names themselves and the letters. Oh, looks kind of cool like that, really. Okay. It's been a couple weeks since I talked to the camera. I accidentally got COVID. I moved out here about to the month when COVID started, so I've missed all of it. I haven't been around for the masking and the school closures and all that crap. I just skipped right over all of the pandemic, and then a couple weeks ago I got it. Luckily it's been nice and cool, so I've been hanging out in the cabin. It's really nice to have the cabin when you're quite sick. You're probably gonna have to deal with my moping, sloped shoulders, but I gotta get out and do something. Actually, I had to walk around the back there just to see what I was even working on. I saw I've got those 2 posts epoxied in there. They look pretty solid, you know, we gave them a couple weeks to set up. And I found one more huge pine board. It's like 2x14 by 12 feet long, so usually save that if, you know, in case I need really long 2x4s for something, but I'm just gonna chop it up. Guess we might as well use this old holder upper, use some of the pieces. We're gonna mark those 2 studs. Maybe we can just whack the crap out of it. Yeah, there's a million holes I just made. Well, let's assume it's this one and this one. I think I need to get a set of bigger bits. Yep, because I keep having to use these 2-foot long bits. They're the only giant ones I have. What do you think? Is it gonna fit? Oh, hey, look at that. We need a couple more feet in here so this doesn't cave in. Thought I'd wait to see where this fits to put them in there, but it looks like, yeah, we could fit 2 in there. Yeah, and I started with a false assumption here that this concrete pad I made was flat, level, and it's not. I guess we just want this flat, right? This makes no difference. Don't worry, you just take a load off, I'll go fix it. It's not like I'm the sick one or anything. Jeez. There we go. Look at that. Gorgeously leveled. I tried to trim it all out so this was even with this, because this is only supported in the middle. I didn't want the ends to sag down, but this thing is so beastly I don't think it's going to. If it does, it'll be such a small amount. Because I don't trust my work all that much, probably won't crank these down too much. I don't doubt that I could rip those studs out of there. Let's call that good. I think I'm still going to put a block underneath here. Like, yeah. Now that's beastly. Well, looky there. That'll be just fine. It's been a while. Does anybody remember how I was going to do this little roof? Because I sure don't. 2 hours in and I already feel overworked. This is garbage living, I tell ya. So you guys just saw the beginning of this video. Was I planning to use that huge board for 2x4s to frame up the roof? I can't remember. I dug through all my piles here and that's all I could find of really solid 1.5-inch boards. I do have some, I think, spruce poles here that are really nice. I kind of hate to have to mill up one log, but I was saving those for, there's one more over there just for something like this. So I didn't have to go cut trees to make some little thing. Even the skinny ones would make some pretty good 2x. Yep, looks like I'm gonna have to mill. Man, you know how I always complain at the beginning of the year when I've been wearing snow boots all year. Then springtime rolls around, I put my heavy leather work boots on, my feet hurt. They're killing me. Didn't take long for my feet to get out of shape. Might as well turn a couple of these into 1.5-inch planks. They're always useful. That's not the way it's supposed to go. It's really full of bugs and rot underneath the bark, but I think the wood's still good. Wow, something went horribly wrong with that. That was a fresh chain and everything. Well, guess we better use the big mill. I barely have the energy to pick this thing up, but who cares? It's worth it. It's fun. Why are they gonna make these so heavy? Just doesn't seem fair, does it? Let's make 2x3s. Let's make a 1.5 by 3 inch. It's not a normal size, but we're not normal people, are we? I still haven't gotten around to fixing my generator because I use it so seldomly. I mean, I use it all the time in the winter to charge my batteries when the solar doesn't work. But you know, you just sometimes have those things you cannot get around to doing no matter what. I did put much heavier weight oil in it for the summer. I'm hoping miraculously that fixes it, but I don't know. Let's try it out, see what happens. I will definitely say, after changing that oil in there, I am not doing it enough. That was the blackest, grossest oil I've ever seen in a machine. I have been using it the last year or so, or at least building the cabin when I had to rip tons and tons of boards. Been using the circular saw. Come on, miracle. It's like a 2x4 light. I think it'll work. Well, that wasn't enough cutting to get the generator up to temperature, so I'm gonna plug my jackeries inside the cabin. You know, ever since I put that one outlet in, I haven't used it. So you'll have to excuse the noise for a little bit. Ah yes, with an extension cord like that, got to plug the cabin in first. Don't ever forget that. Or can you believe that? It's working. What do you know? Changing the oil didn't fix it. This is so fun not knowing how to do stuff. So I'm thinking that goes against the wall, and then this is a 3/12 pitch, and then this will make it a 6/12. I don't really know how to connect this joint here. Yeah, that'll work. Should we shrink it though? Let's cut it just big enough to jog it, and then when the roof boards stick over, we can cut those in a weird shape. Haha, that's gonna look really cool. Anybody know which one of these 16 marks goes right in the middle? Let's go this way. Ah, there we go. Maybe I can set it on my skull. Sawdusty. Ah, you guys know I freaking hate putting braces on stuff. Like, you make something pretty and weird, and then you put a bunch of 2x4s sticking down on the wall. It just, I don't know, looks kind of lowbrow. Kind of lowbrow, and we're not, no, we don't do lowbrow. Of course, if I put some kind of weird side roof on it like that, I guess that could be the brace. Well, I'm getting what I was looking for. Constantly changing this, thinking one thing will work, and then having to chop it up and switch it around. Makes it kind of fun. I think my ridiculous ideas may have just surpassed my ability to build. Dag nabbit. What's a guy to do? The easy and obvious thing is to put a support like that, and then just close on this end. I guess I cover it all in the same cedar that's here. Oh, maybe that would look all right. Sometimes I get a little bit screwy in my head, like I got some idea for something and I can't figure out how to do it, and then it gets to be where it's like so complicated for such a stupid little thing that it's not really even fun anymore. And I remind myself, I get about 24 hours after a project like this is done where I'll look at it and go, ah, that's cool, and then never see it again. I'm just like, yep, that's the spot where the propane cans are. I think my brain was making this part a little bit too complicated. Fine, we'll just wuss out and do it this way. It's a good thing we got real wood siding. I'm not sure if you'd want to use your vinyl siding for structural elements. Oh yeah, that's plenty strong. That'll hold the snow off. Well, I thought I had more scraps. I was thinking I was going to build this entire thing with scraps, and yeah, it's not really going to happen. Most of these aren't even long enough to use on the top of this thing. good thing we already have all this cedar milled up. I think this must have been left over from the ceiling in the cabin. I am so worthless. I don't know if I'm just lazy or if it's the COVID. Maybe it's the wind. It's probably the wind. Yeah, it's 2:30. I've done nothing. I just ate breakfast. Why is life so difficult? Woo. Well, we got a little extra hanging over the ends here. Might look kind of weird if it was angled in and then flat down. I wish there was a little more board hanging off the ends there, like an extra 6 inches on each side, because then we could really make it strange. I think I might have some leftover drip edge under the cabin here. We could do this the sort of right way. Yep, I see it inside the flowers. Oh, it's all crushed by the mill, the milling stuff. That might not be enough for both sides. We can straighten this stuff back out. Well, I was just thinking the sides. It'd be kind of nice to go down the front too, wouldn't it? It's probably just enough to go the whole border of this thing. I guess the question is, can you bend an inside corner with this stuff? I guess I could cut most of the way through it and try to bend it around there. I don't really get more than one chance to do it because I don't have enough of this otherwise. What are we gonna do? We gotta try, right? Yeah, I don't know if you can bend something in that direction. I guess I probably should have just cut this in 2 pieces and tried to overlap it, but I think it's going to end up like this anyway. Whatever, that'll work, right? I'm going to make the tar paper and shingles and everything overhang, so it is what it is. Whoops. This is supposed to go underneath there. I know so little about roofing. I'm not sure what to do with that back edge. I guess you'd put some flashing there, bend some flashing, and tar in the top of it or something. I'm also not sure how to get over this edge. I don't think my shingles will bend that far. I think I'm just going to run the shingles up to the back of it and then tar the crap out of it, because the other good thing is it's not like this leaks inside a building anywhere. If a little bit of water gets through there, it's just going to end up running down this wall, and that's not going to hurt anything. still not sure with these architectural shingles if you're supposed to put a starter strip underneath or if that was just for the old 3-tab shingles because they had a cut through here and you know the rain would go right through onto the tar paper. Of course I'm not sure because I'm not ever bothering to look it up. Let's just assume you don't need it. On the other hand, when you get a bunch of snow on here, you only have one layer of shingles. I think I got a couple of 3-tabs left over from something else. I could cut a couple strips and put them under there. What's that? You're supposed to do it or you're not? You don't? Okay. Do you constantly find yourself wondering how I could possibly have built an entire cabin knowing as little as I do? Because I have that thought all the time. Makes sense to me. It makes sense to you, even if you know how to do this the right way. This has been the weirdest weather year that I can remember. These are supposed to be like the hottest days of summer, and for the last 10 days and the next 10 days on the forecast are all around 70 degrees. That's really bizarre, but I like it. Yeah, so this is what I was worried about, is the next course, geez oh Pete. The next course is got to bend over there, but actually it bends just fine. I think after it gets a little sun or snow or whatever, it probably won't stick up like that. Hey, success. I wonder if they make like a white crayon or something for marking on shingles. Because a lot of times you can use a chalk line, but sometimes you actually need to draw on there. I was just about to get out the caulk gun and caulk that top edge, and I realized since these are put in with screws, I think I'm going to take them down, route those edges. It doesn't make any difference at all. It's not like water is going to go in through that, but I think it would look cooler if it matched this. That's better. Was that seamless? Can you tell I just took a 2-hour nap in the middle of the day? God, this is ridiculous. I wonder how long I'm gonna be sleepy for. Guess the good thing is, like, my boss is like super freaking nice. I mean, like the nicest guy, a man or woman that you've ever met, and he or she just lets me nap whenever I need to. Always seems a little weird when I get the 4-wheeler and trailer out to take something 100 feet. It could be as much as 150 feet, so back off. But let's haul those other propane cans over there. Is empty? Yep, that's empty. That's pretty full. Oh, guess it doesn't make a lot of sense to put the empty ones up here, but that's all right. 160 pounds of prope. That's what the cool kids call it these days, prope. I've probably mentioned before, and you might be wondering why I don't just have 100-pound tanks out here. It's just because I don't want to freaking hurt myself dragging those things around. I mean, if it's like once a season or something, then I have Tito come out, like there's a 100-pounder in the shower, and I just have to have Tito come help me move it around. Because of course it's usually in the snow too. So it's like you can't get the trailer right up to wherever it is. You're in 2.5 feet of snow, and like trying to drag a full, especially a full one's like a couple 100 pounds. That's how I ended up with these 40-pounders. I went and picked up a bunch that were full and found like, oh yeah, 40 pounds is totally reasonable to move around by yourself. I wasn't too confident in my choices for this thing, and I freaking hate online shopping for this kind of stuff. I know some people just love it. I hate sitting on the computer trying to sort all this stuff out, so probably should have just redone this whole thing. You know, have it go along the wall and come up to 4 different tanks. I didn't mess with it. I just got these. This is so you can listen to how much is in the tank. That's really dumb. Yeah, this is just going to go in there and split off to these. Look at that. Oh, that's not... I was thinking it was going to be kind of a huge mess. That's nothing at all. It's actually kind of handy. They stick out the front. That actually worked out even better than I thought it would. It's almost warm enough to stick these down. Wow, I really like this. I think the base here is pretty freaking solid. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And actually, just by chance, I like the width of this. And this really closes it in quite a bit. I don't think there's going to be any snow on top of these bottles. Only other thing I considered doing was using some cedar scraps to enclose these boxes, but I'm fairly confident if I do that, I'm going to get animals living in there. I know there are going to be some red squirrels, which like to get into everything, and skunks. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, man, I kept getting skunks in the lean-to. But that thing would be a perfect little house for one if this side was closed in. And like I said before, I'm never going to look at this thing again, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be too pretty. I'm not completely sure it was worth the effort to put that little jog in there, but you know, when you're going to do the work anyway, why not? It just gave it a tiny bit of character. Also kind of seems like it'd be kind of a nifty storage up there for something. I don't know what. Maybe an antique broom that I really can't get wet. Listen, I'm just spitballing here. I don't know if I'll put my antique brooms there or not. Just thinking out loud, all right? I'm a little confused. Do you not need to open the valve to get the gas to go through there? I was just going to hook them up and leave them for the next month or two till I actually need this stuff, but the flip-around-erator looks like it says there's gas flowing through it. What's up with that? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's just pressure in there left over because it's turned off inside. I don't know how anything works. What do you think? Did it come out dope enough for you? Well, might as well take that out of here and fill it up next time I go grocery shopping. As always, thanks for watching the worm videos. I got a couple things I got to get done before I get started on the next huge project. If anybody wants to see how to build a structure for just the cost of a tarp, tune back in. I'm going to take that thing back apart, have a look at all the little poles and everything that we threw together when we first moved out here. Everything's still holding up, nothing's broken, but the tarps are about done for. Going to clean that place out, mill up some lumber for some really nice shelves, pull that old heater out of there, maybe put it up on the sky deck, and that'll be all about in time for party week. Freaking can't wait for party week every year. I just can't wait. It does look like it's up to party 10 days now, so that's going to be fun. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Oh, we got some bubbles in there. Oh well.